most of the times I'd feel just so weak, and also waking up, my face is swollen, my legs swollen, and also fatigue.
Out of which 10% of those require some form of treatment, and out of which around between 25 and 30,000 require dialysis or renal replacement therapy. They have end-stage kidney disease.
You need to rely on the lab works other than just having the symptoms, because the symptoms could be symptoms of so many other things.
Kidney disease is a silent but devastating condition that affects millions worldwide, often going unnoticed until the damage is severe. For some, the diagnosis comes as a shock, altering the course of their lives forever. Across Kenya, thousands of people live with kidney disease, many unaware of the silent damage until it's too late. When the kidneys fail, the body can no longer cleanse itself, toxins build up, and life changes forever. Some rely on dialysis to survive, others hold on to hope of a transplant. At the heart of our story is a 23-year-old young man who has spent the last years on dialysis. His life dictated by machines that keep him alive. Through his journey, and with insights from Dr. Baga, a nephrologist, and a nephrology nurse, we uncover the harsh realities of kidney disease, the challenges of treatment, and the ultimate hope of a life-saving transplant.
My name is Ronald Gasioka. I'm a kidney health advocate and also author of a book where I share my personal journey battling kidney failure for the last 6 years. I was in primary school. Most of the mornings I would wake up and my face would be swollen, and with time my legs also got to be swollen. There was signs like vomiting, and I had to pay the doctor a visit.
My name is Dr. Hussein Baga. I'm a consultant physician and a kidney specialist working at the MP Shah Hospital. Kidney disease is whereby you have a problem with the function of the kidneys. Now, normally we have two kidneys which are located at the back here, and they perform very important functions within the body.
The kidneys are vital organs that play a crucial role in maintaining overall health by performing several essential functions.
They basically help to clear out the excess water and waste from the body, which comes out in the form of urine. They also help to regulate your blood pressures, they help to regulate your blood levels, they help to also remove the excess or control your electrolytes, like your potassiums, your sodiums, your calcium and magnesium as well. And they're also important in improving your blood levels and maintaining your blood levels normal by producing certain hormones. So when you get kidney disease, all of these functions of the kidneys are affected.
When Ronald began experiencing unexplained symptoms at the age of 12, he promptly visited a doctor and underwent a series of tests. Following the evaluations, he was prescribed medication.
After they carried out some tests, I was put on medication and treatment. Although back then I did not really quite understand well what was going on. You know, as a child, you don't have those many questions, what is happening. So I thought it was just some normal sickness. So I was on treatment from then until around 2015.
Chronic kidney disease, CKD, poses a significant health challenge in Kenya, with varying prevalence rates reported across different regions and populations.
Kidney disease is very common. Currently, 10% of the Kenyan population have some form of kidney disease, which is around 500,000, out of which 10% of those require some form of treatment, and out of which around between 25 and 30,000 require dialysis or renal replacement therapy. They have end-stage kidney disease.
It's really, really common. The main reason why most patients they're doing dialysis is because of things like hypertension and diabetes, which are the main reasons for dialysis.
Being diagnosed with nephrotic syndrome had a significant impact on Ronald's studies. However, he remained determined to complete primary school.
So attending classes became quite a challenge for me. And for that whole year, I was in class 8. I did not get to attend school. But by God's grace, at the end of the year, I was able to go back and do the KCP exams. and hopefully I was able to pass. Actually, I scored 325 marks by God's grace, and from there I had to stay out of school for another whole year because of the health condition.
Ronald was frequently in and out of hospitals without knowing the cause of his symptoms. It was only when he met a doctor who accurately diagnosed his condition that he finally got the answers he needed.
Around 2015, we were referred to this doctor. Her name is Dr. Doris Kenuthia. She's a pediatric nephrologist at the Aga Khan University Hospital. She's the one now who got now to dig deeper into the condition. She requested that I do a kidney biopsy, and from there now she was able to now diagnose the actual cause of the problem, that's the nephrotic syndrome, and she now was able to come up with a specific medication plan, and from there now the condition stabilized.
Kidney disease can develop due to various risk factors, many of which are preventable or manageable with early intervention.
Diabetes and high blood pressure are the most common risk factors for kidney disease. Of course, there are other risk factors like obesity, and obesity is becoming quite rampant in our society as well in Kenya. If you have a family history of chronic kidney disease, then you are at a higher risk of developing chronic kidney disease. And then, of course, if you had previous kidney disease, even though it has recovered, you are at a higher risk. Over-the-counter use of medications, especially painkillers like Brufen, diclofenac, predisposes you to chronic kidney disease as well, and of course herbal medicines as well.
The symptoms of kidney disease often develop gradually and may go unnoticed in the early stages, with symptoms worsening as the disease progresses.
Now, unfortunately, the symptoms become more apparent later on in the later stages. In the earlier stages, you might be totally asymptomatic, but as the disease progresses and you reach towards the fourth and the fifth stage, you will start feeling a lot of fatigue and tiredness. A lot of people tend to ignore it because they feel like, oh, we're working too hard in this day and age, and we are working 24/7, and that's most likely because of overworking. Of course, at later stages of chronic kidney disease, you'll find that your legs start getting swollen because of water retention. You might start losing appetite because of the toxins building up in your body. You start itching everywhere because of the toxins building up in the body as well. Your urine output starts reducing. And at much later stages, you find that you can't even breathe properly because of water accumulating in the lungs.
Most of the times, I'd feel just so weak, and also waking up, my face is swollen, my legs swollen, and also fatigue.
From 2015, Ronald remained on medication for 3 years, successfully keeping his symptoms under control. However, in 2018, his symptoms returned with full intensity, prompting him to seek medical help once again.
In 2018, the condition kind of came back. At that time, while in Form 3, I started dropping in my performance, and also my body activity decreased steadily. Going back to high school, now starting my high school education, I went through a scholarship. So the scholarship was on you perform well so that they continue with the scholarship. When my performance started declining, they had to stop the scholarship. Immediately we closed school in the third term. Now the signs and symptoms that I had before, that is around 2013, while all in primary, started coming back. We had to now visit the doctor immediately. That time, on visiting the doctor, they carried out some tests, and I was admitted to hospital. And after the doctor carried out some few tests, now they ascertained that I had kidney failure, that it had progressed now to kidney failure, and I was immediately put on dialysis treatment. That is 2019 January.
The diagnosis of kidney disease typically involves a combination of medical history, physical examinations, and various tests to assess kidney function.
So diagnosis is very simple, and what you require to do is to come to the hospital and we do a blood test and we do a simple urine test. And this is how we'll know basically that somebody has got chronic kidney disease or not.
You need to rely on the lab works other than just having the symptoms, because the symptoms could be symptoms of so many other things. And creatinine being the main indicator how well or how bad your kidney is, you're able now to determine whether to start this patient on dialysis or not.
Ronald's school attendance was affected, this time by having to go for dialysis every week.
When first I started dialysis, for me it was really quite a challenge. Going for dialysis twice weekly, that meant that you had to be away from school 2 days every week, because our dialysis session takes around 4 hours each treatment session, and that meant that I was missing 2 classes 2 days a week. So it became a challenge to balance between going for treatment and also continuing on with my studies. But through the encouragement of my teachers, my family, and also friends, I was able to continue with my school. I can say everything went on well despite the challenges.
Coming up after the break.
So tell me about kidney transplantation in Kenya.
So the good news is we have been doing kidney transplants in Kenya almost for 2 decades, and very successfully, if I may say.
Immediately after my Form 4, I went into depression actually. And for 2 years, I was just at home.
Lifestyle is something that you really need to watch out on. Yes, alcoholism, smoking, obesity.
Kidney disease is a silent battle, one that changes lives forever. Ronald has fought this fight for years, relying on dialysis to stay alive. But is there a way out? Is a transplant the hope he's been waiting for? Stay with us, we'll be right back. And now for a short healthcare tip. Protecting your kidneys starts with a healthy lifestyle. Stay well hydrated, as water helps flush out toxins and supports kidney function. Reduce your intake of salt and processed foods to prevent high blood pressure, a leading cause of kidney disease. If you have diabetes or hypertension, managing these conditions is key to preventing kidney damage. Regular medical checkups, including kidney function tests, can help detect any issues early. Most importantly, avoid overuse of painkillers like NSAIDs, which can strain your kidneys over time. Taking these steps can go a long way in keeping your kidneys healthy and functioning properly.
We are living in a lost and broken world, constantly bombarded by messages of hate and atrocities. But with God, we can overcome. Find hope and restoration on the go through life-changing shows on the Family Media app.
And then you will lose yourself and gain the world. And Jesus said, what good is it?
Get to stream Family TV and Family Radio 316 straight from your phone. Catch up on a show you missed or create video streaming playlists by saving and watching videos from our huge variety of shows at your own convenience. Download the Family Media app, available for all Android and iOS users on the Google Play Store and Apple Store respectively. Family Media, keeping Jesus on the airwaves.
Welcome back. Kidney disease is a lifelong battle, but for many, dialysis is only a temporary solution. Ronald has spent 6 years tethered to a machine, waiting for a second chance. But what does it take to get a transplant? And is there hope for thousands of others like him? Let's dive deeper into the fight for survival as we speak to Dr. Berger one-on-one. So, tell me about kidney transplantation in Kenya.
So the good news is we have been doing kidney transplants in Kenya almost for 2 decades, and very successfully, if I may say so. Here at the MP Shah Hospital, we started doing kidney transplants from 2018. We have done more than 40 kidney transplants, all of them successfully. Despite the ups and downs initially with NHIF and with the new insurance, the Shah, but thankfully everything has been sorted out, and we even did one last week, and we're planning to do one this week for the World Kidney Day as well. And it is becoming quite common to do kidney transplants here in Kenya. And my appeal to all our people is that please find out from your doctors if these services are available in your county, and if not, then you can be referred to Nairobi, where we do the kidney transplants here at the MP Shah Hospital in Nairobi.
And what would you say to the people who are maybe losing hope with regards to dialysis and all that?
Please don't lose hope. That's my advice. I mean, I know that when somebody hears kidney disease or end-stage kidney disease and that they require to go into dialysis, everybody assumes that they're dying. That is not true. That might have been the case 40 or 50 years ago, but that is absolutely not true. We have patients who have been on dialysis for more than 30 years and they're going on very strong. Of course, we would want all patients who have end-stage kidney disease to be transplanted because that is the best option. A kidney transplant is the best option for somebody on end-stage kidney disease. Of course, it takes time to get the workup done for the kidney transplant, to get a donor. So we do the bridging by doing dialysis. So dialysis is supposed to be a bridging gap before transplant. So once when you're on dialysis, I would expect everybody to be asking their nephrologists and their doctors, when am I getting a kidney transplant? Because we would recommend that within 2 years of starting dialysis, patients should get transplanted if they are eligible for a kidney transplant.
There's something you mentioned which is very important about over-the-counter medication and how sometimes it can affect the kidneys. Can you tell us again about that?
So over-the-counter medications, unfortunately, you see, when you go to any pharmacy and say that you have a headache, the first reflex is to give you Brufen. Now, Brufen is very dangerous for somebody who already has chronic kidney disease. Now, they will not be checking your kidney function. They don't have your medical history, whether you have chronic kidney disease. They won't ask you whether you have any other medical problems. Some of them will just give you the medication and tell you take it for 5 days. Now, in those 5 days, when you've been taking this medication every day, you're causing more harm to your kidneys. So that is why it is very important not to take the over-the-counter medications without consulting your doctors. You see, because your doctors might have your medical history, they might ask you a few more pertinent questions, especially about your kidney disease, about any allergies that you might be having, and this will help to avert progression of your kidney disease. The other important thing is herbal medicines as well. Even herbal medicines have been shown to cause both liver disease and kidney damage as well because they've not been tested. And people react differently. I've had patients, young people who have come in because they've taken some herbal medicine to clean their bowel and they end up with kidney injury. So luckily they come in on time, we do the test, we stop the medications, we rehydrate them, start them on the appropriate medications, and a few of them we have been able to reverse it. But imagine if they don't come to the hospital and continue taking the herbal medicines. So by the time we see them, they already had permanent kidney damage as well.
Are there any perhaps outstanding symptoms somebody at home can just think, this is perhaps I should get checked for kidney disease?
So if you start noticing your leg is getting swollen or if your urine output has reduced despite taking adequate water, or you're getting fatigued very easily and even after resting it is still the same, or if you are having this pruritus or itching generalized, then think that something could be wrong, especially if you are at risk of kidney disease. And who is at risk of kidney disease? As we mentioned earlier, somebody who has diabetes, somebody who has high blood pressure, somebody who is obese, somebody who has a family history of chronic kidney disease, somebody who had kidney injury some time back, and even if it completely recovered, that person is at a higher risk of developing kidney disease. So if you get these symptoms and if you're at a risk, then you need to be checked out immediately.
Lastly, how often should we all get our kidneys checked?
So if you have risk factors, you should do it immediately, and then your doctor will advise you whether it is annually or biannually or every quarter. After the age of 40, if you don't have any risk factors, then you should do it at least once and then at least every 3 years.
The treatment of kidney disease depends on the underlying cause, the stage of the disease, and how well the kidneys are functioning.
So the treatment depends on the stages. The earlier stages, basically, we try to look at what is causing the kidney disease. Is it diabetes? Is it high blood pressure? Is it obesity? And we treat the diabetes, we treat the high blood pressure. We make sure that your blood pressure is under control. We make sure that your blood sugar is under control. If you're obese, we encourage you to do daily exercise and eat healthy. And then, of course, the complications of the chronic kidney disease, like if your electrolytes are not balanced out, we treat that electrolyte imbalances, we treat the acid-base imbalance, we treat the anemia because of the chronic kidney disease. If there's fluid accumulation, we try to give you medications to improve your urine output. Of course, if it's at an end-stage kidney disease, then we have to start you on dialysis, or we start talking about a kidney transplant. We have two forms of dialysis. One is called hemodialysis, which is cleaning of the blood. and the other one is called peritoneal dialysis. The peritoneum is a covering within the abdominal cavity. So most commonly we do hemodialysis in Kenya, whereby there's blood that comes out of your body through a catheter, it runs through a machine. It is cleaned, all the excess water is removed, all the toxins are removed, the electrolytes are balanced out, and then it is returned back to the body. In peritoneal dialysis, we put in a catheter in the abdomen where the peritoneum is. We put in fluid. Again, it's very similar. Exchanges take place, and then after 4 hours, the fluid is then removed. And this takes, we do several exchanges in one day, almost 3 to 4 exchanges in one day.
While dialysis is immensely beneficial, it can significantly affect a person's physical health, emotional well-being, and overall quality of life, as the treatment process itself is demanding, requiring multiple sessions per week, which can be physically exhausting and socially isolating.
Immediately after my Form 4, I went into depression actually. And for 2 years, I was just at home and I just shut down from the world because I remember I not even want people to know that I am sick. So for people not to know that I am sick, I used to lock myself in the house the whole day. I only came out of the house going to the hospital for dialysis treatment to serve for those 2 sessions in a week. And even I was not able to go to church because I not I want people to ask me the questions and also people to know that I was sick, because you find that most of the times as a dialysis patient, because of the fluid accumulation in the body, I not want people to notice that. So I would just lock myself in the house. I wanted just to stay by myself.
Being here 3 or 2 times a week, it's quite really hectic for this patient. In terms of socially, I feel like it really affects them. Now, the quality of life, health-wise, gets better as they wait for transplant, because we are able to remove their urea and creatinine. Now that improves their quality of life. They are able to do their activities just as usual, but socially, they really get affected because they are here almost 5 to 6 hours a day. So the advantages outweighs the disadvantage.
Preventing kidney disease is crucial because the kidneys play a vital role in overall health.
Kidney disease is a highly preventable condition, and that is a very important question. So one of the most important things is a healthy lifestyle. Eat healthy, exercise regularly, okay? You have to make sure that your body mass index is within the normal range as well. If you are at high risk, like if you have diabetes, if you have high blood pressure, if you are obese, if you have a family history of chronic kidney disease, please come for regular checkups.
Lifestyle is something that you really need to watch out on. Yes, alcoholism, smoking, obesity, reckless driving also can cause you to be in an accident where you end up losing a lot of blood and you end up losing your kidneys.
It is best to prevent this. Even if you do have a diagnosis of chronic kidney disease, there are treatments available to slow down the progression to end-stage kidney disease.
Ronald's journey in search of a kidney transplant has been long and filled with heartbreak, setbacks, and moments of deep disappointment. Yet, despite the obstacles and the emotional toll, he refuses to give up.
I was in the process of preparing for a kidney transplant. We went through the matching process, through some tests that are required before you do a kidney transplant, so they get to match between the donor and also you. And we went through the process, did the test, and when they were only remaining one test so that we could go ahead with the kidney transplant, the donor that was willing now to donate to me, they backed out the last minute. It really hurt me, but still, when it comes to donation, it's out of someone's willingness to donate to you. So you find that most of the times they don't get to force someone to donate to you. So I had to understand their decision of not being willing to continue with the process. So I can say I was okay. But also you find that when it comes to kidney transplant in our country, it's quite expensive for many patients, because in doing a kidney transplant in a public hospital like Kenyatta National Hospital, it starts from around 1.6 million. And in private hospitals, it could go from even 2.5 million. So it's really quite a challenge for many patients. I'm now in the process of preparing for the kidney transplant, second time. My dad is actually my donor, for which I really respect and thank him very much for the decision to offer and be my donor.
One kidney is enough. One kidney is able to stand in and do what 2 kidneys can do. We normally tell our patient that the final treatment for you to get better, you have to do transplant. So it's something which is really, really practiced. And now it depends with the patient. It depends with their finances. Social, is there a donor? Most of them, they are informed about the need to do a transplant. But now finances, getting a donor is what, and maybe the faith is what is making them not to do it. It's what is deterring them from doing dialysis.
Despite the early onset of his kidney failure and the many challenges he faced, something remarkable emerged from Ronald's journey. He was able to publish a book and establish a foundation that is now transforming the lives of many Kenyans going through similar struggles.
It hit me that as I still continued my dialysis treatment and I got to interact with a lot of patients and children on dialysis, I saw how people get to lose hope in their lives. So I wanted to do something that I would show people that it does not matter to going through those challenges, having to go through dialysis treatment, that you can still, that there's still life even after all that challenges that you're going through, that you can still find hope to live, to continue living in life. So now the title came, Embracing Hope, a powerful journey through kidney battles.
Kidney disease is a relentless battle, but is not without hope. For Ronald and many others, dialysis is a lifeline, but a transplant could mean a new beginning. The journey is long, the challenges are many, but with early detection, better access to treatment and awareness, more lives can be saved. As we close this episode, one thing is clear: kidney health matters, and the fight for survival continues. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care of your health.